Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way Nation. What is going on? It is your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I want to welcome each and every one of you to episode 57. It's the ABCs of property and casualty insurance with our special guest, Josh Short of Goosehead Insurance. We're going to have Josh give me a few minutes, and I'm going to introduce you to the people and let them know what you all about and all your genius. But I got to give some love first. I want to thank each and every person who is here with us live as we stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook and YouTube pages. As always, a salute to Wealth Our Way Nation members who watch this program pre-recorded overnight, over the weekend, wherever they can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in. And then a heartfelt how are you to the Life 101 platform members who listen to the audio of this very here program. So with that all being said, we got the intros and the how you do's out the way. I want to talk about the special guest that I have on. As you guys know, Wealth Our Way is a financial planning, financial literacy platform. I always use the commercial from way back in my childhood, a company called BASF. Their tagline was, we don't make the products you buy, we make the products you buy better. That's how I feel about Wealth Our Way. I no longer sell insurance. I no longer sell investments. I no longer sell anything except for planning and advice. More often than not, in my process of creating a plan, providing advice, I'm the quarterback or the point guard of putting people with the proper strategic partners to carry out the plan. When it comes to property and casualty insurance, and I could elaborate on what property and casualty is, but I'm gonna let the man do it. But when it comes to property and casualty, this is my go-to dude. Like, this is the guy who I call when someone, homeowners, motorcycle, auto, umbrella, I call Josh. I think Josh take it. A couple reasons I do that. Best in class. Like this dude, as you hear him talk, he gets right down to the heart of things. I've never had a dissatisfied customer, client, relationship, anything when I refer him to Josh. Two, y'all know I'm a very busy dude. I'm out here recording programs, helping the world get financially literate. I can hand something off to Josh and truthfully never hear again until papers are signed or he tells me what they wanted he couldn't do, which is very, very rare. Maybe they wanted to insure a zebra married to a monkey and he didn't have the exotic animal coverage or whatever. But this man comes through all the time, 5-star Gucci rating. So with that being said, no more further ado, Josh Short, talk to the people.
How you doing, man? Thanks a lot, Tank. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, everything that you're doing in the community. I go back to when we first got connected a couple years back. And it was great. It's been a great relationship, and I have much appreciation and respect for what you're doing and what you're all about. And just through knowing other people, we connected. It's just shows you how small the world is.
No doubt. Yeah, tell me in the wild audience what property and casualty insurance covers, what it entails, what is that. Okay. What's that mean to the average person who doesn't really realize that they use property and casualty insurance?
Okay, so property and casualty simply means it covers any kind of personal property, also business property, casualty, any kind of damage to your home, your vehicles, your car, your business locations, even personal property. Covers it all from A to Z within reason, depending on certain things have to happen in order for insurance to kick in.
Understood. So let me ask a question. So what type of coverages that people use every day would fall under the purview of property and casualty? Because you and I are in the insurance space as far as knowledge and terminology, but someone saying, I've never had property and casualty, but they have because they don't realize their renter's insurance. So run down the different coverages that fall under property and casualty.
Okay, the different coverages. Let's start out with the different things. So auto, motorcycle, boat, renters, an apartment, your primary residence, any secondary homes, investment properties, diamond rings, furs, any type of intrinsic value items, electronics, clothing, furniture, all fall under the property coverage on the homeowners, business insurance, and then also umbrella. So an umbrella is going to capture everything and help you with an excess amount of coverage.
Let's talk about umbrella insurance, if we could, for a minute. When I worked primarily with professional athletes, everybody was recommended to get an umbrella policy because umbrella is synonymous with the terminology of excess liability.
Yes.
So you have a car, your car may have a limit of $1 million of total coverage for replacing the vehicle, replacing any property damage, any lawsuit that you may get because you ran over a small child. All of that's covered under this $1 million liability policy for your auto. But once you jump out the car and you're LeBron James and they see that, now all of a sudden people who watch the accident, they hurt and they suing, and the coverage, the claims could be 10, 20, 30 million. So I would tell professional athletes or any high net worth person, you need excess liability. You need coverage that exceeds what your auto policy, and that's what an umbrella policy does, it if I'm characterizing that correctly. Exactly.
Using that scenario. So with an umbrella, you have to have an auto policy and a homeowner's policy. The auto policy, using your scenario, $1 million of liability coverage. The home has to have a minimum of $300,000 liability coverage. So when you add those two together, you got $1.3 million in liability coverage. But to your point, if they're going to sue somebody for $10 million, well, where are they going to get that excess $7.5 million or 8.5? Yeah, whatever the difference is, the 10 to make it that 10. That's the umbrella. It's going to sit right on top of the auto liability and the home liability.
Okay, and talk to me real quick, because I know people see all these commercials. Well, I guess before we get into that, let me ask a better question. You work with Goosehead, and Goosehead is what I call a national footprint of a brokerage.
Yes, exactly.
They have a bunch of carriers underneath. You will find a client the best match. How does that process work? I call you up. I got a new motorcycle, a new car, and a new house. What are you going to do for me?
Gather the information, input it into my system. It's going to spit out in Pennsylvania. It's going to spit out a dozen carriers that says, "Hey, we can write this, and here is the quote." It's just a quote. Doesn't mean that's the price that you're going to pay. I then have to go in and filter out through the different carriers. It could be all 10 of them, or it could be just 2 or 3 of them. That's going to give me the best price. And then I say, hey, Tank, this is what I have. Send it over to you. What do you think? Here are the coverages. Here are the differences between these 2 carriers. And you say, okay, I'll bless it, and let's go with one of those.
I love that. What do we normally hear a lot these days about bundling coverages? Getting some form of discount for having your home and auto together. Even some of these companies now also add in life insurance. What are your thoughts on bundling? Is it as good as it sounds, getting the discount? What is the process, and why should someone look to bundle or look to avoid bundling?
Bundling is the best if you have when you're dealing with a great carrier. If you get an example, you have an auto policy and you bring over a home policy, you're looking at a 25 to 30% roughly discount on the auto policy.
Okay.
For renters, condo, the discount's going to be a little less, but their primary ideal maximum premium discount is going to be when you bundle the auto and the home. Now, with what I do and the carriers that I work with, some homeowner carriers have what they call a companion discount. So basically, I write your auto through Progressive, but then I write your home through Berkshire Hathaway. Well, Berkshire Hathaway will give a companion discount. It's like a multi-policy discount, a little bit less, but because I wrote the auto and I'm bundling it with the home, they're going to give that homeowner discount, that discount on that homeowners.
Okay.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, because we're a financial literacy platform. I teach all areas of financial responsibility, fiscal management. And I know from my years of working in the life insurance industry, credit comes into play when it talks about the riskiness of someone. Right. Do you see that same type of scrutiny on someone's credit, can it raise their premiums in a certain area of property and casualty insurance? And could you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So going back decades, Allstate was the leading company that started with credit. Credit, as far as insurance companies, going to determine the premium, one of the factors in how much they're going to charge for a premium. The lower your credit means something negative. The higher your credit means something positive. No different than if you're buying a house or a car. So that is the primary thing. Now with a lot of carriers on the auto side, credit is a big factor. On a home side, it's not so much of a big factor.
Got you. But
it also depends on the carrier too.
Okay, the carrier varies from carrier to carrier. That makes sense.
Right.
I want to have you back tomorrow if you have flexibility, because I want to take some questions from people, and we're not going to have enough time to get through 15 minutes. I also want to tell people my experience with my flood coverage. I'm still here dealing with flood coverage and just got really, I wouldn't call it bad news because I'm blessed. I'm alive. My people are alive, but nothing's covered. Like, it's it's just, my spouse got the coverage. Not to blame her. I wouldn't have known any better than her. I'd have called you, which I did on Friday. Like, yo, Josh, what do I do?
Right.
So my thing is, people need to read their coverage. People need to know what they're getting covered.
Yes.
I feel robbed right now for the amount of premium we've been paying, only to be told nothing is covered.
Right.
And I'd like to talk to the people about that. But first, I want to respond to a question from Tamiko in our audience. She's asking, are discounts that you would see through universities or other affiliate programs? I get discount offers through AAA, AARP, because I'm old. Are they normally cheaper or more expensive than bundled or companion discounted rates?
So what we call the affinity discounts, their discounts are not as deep, meaning they could be 1 or 2 or 3%, whereas a bundling discount, it can be somewhere between 15 to 30%.
Got it.
Depending on the carrier. But every little bit helps when you're trying to save money.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I think of the affinity programs, not so much for the savings of the rate, but just the inclusion in the group. Like, I know for me, I'm a heavy dude. I'm out here telling people every day they need life insurance. Right. I don't have enough life insurance. And it's not like I can't afford it. The problem is my weight. Carriers, I have to get under a certain weight to get the coverage I want. Right. But AAA sends me guaranteed coverage like every 3 months. They're like, yo, you can have coverage up to $250,000, sign here. Now, I know from being in the insurance business that it's a slightly higher rate than I would pay if I was healthy and applied for insurance. But being as though I'm healthy, as according to the blood works and all that, but from a weight, height, BMI standpoint, I'm unhealthy. So I'm getting over being able to be included in that coverage. And I think when I look at infinity coverage for property and casualty, I wonder if it's the same thing. If I have 7 DUIs and couldn't get coverage on my own, but Temple University alumni are offering coverage through Liberty Mutual, am I going to get in because I'm coming through Temple, or are they going to still screen me out as a drunk driver?
They're going to first screen you out based on your motor vehicle report.
Okay.
Accidents, incidents, tickets, moving violations. Some carriers will say, well, you can only have a few within a number of years. You can only have one. And if you have 2 people in the household, 2 vehicles, you can have 2 within a year.
Got it.
So when you pass that test, then they can apply whatever the discount is. Right.
Okay, so let me say this, that we're coming up on 14 minutes. I'm long-winded, so it takes me forever to say goodbye to the people. So we're going to stop here, but can you come back tomorrow? Can I get 15 minutes from you tomorrow?
Time is yours, brother.
I love it, man. This is my guy. Josh is my guy. And Brother Joe Greenwood says, welcome and hello. He's shouting you out as his agent. I know you can, I got to come down and hang out with you guys at the cigar bar one weekend, ride my Harley down there once we drain it out from this damn flood. But I want to thank you for coming on, Josh. I love the information. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to finish this conversation, talk about how to read your insurance policies, talk about getting the best carriers, and hype up my man Josh, because he's a brother that knows a lot, and I want everybody to, use his knowledge. Even if you're not in the PA area, which he is, he can put you in the right places. So remember here at Wealth Our Way what our motto is, which is wealth is not only for the wealthy. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.